This kind of set the stage for how things are going to unfold. It's a very methodical thing that they do.
How hard will it be for them to do their job right now as this fire is still smoldering out there, Reed?
It's somewhat difficult. They'll be working in areas that are still, as you say, active, but they're used to that. They're not going to encounter anything that they haven't done many, many times, in some cases, under worse circumstances. So these are, in my opinion, the best in the world when it comes to the NTSB.
We're going to be asking you a lot about this because you, of course, have expert sources that you broke a lot of the news with us on TV and on our streaming coverage yesterday as this was beginning. Have you learned any new information about what happened yesterday at 5:15 when this flight to Hawaii was taking off?
Only, I think it has become extremely clear what happened, and that is the fact that there was an engine on fire at the time they were departing. We now know also that part of the cowling of the engine departed the aircraft about a third of the way down the runway, and then the engine actually departed right as they broke ground.
We have put this video together for you. What does each different frame tell? What kind of story does it tell you?
Okay, the key thing, the first thing we see here is the aircraft going down the runway. He's accelerating. The crew is watching the airspeed at this point. But look at it. There's already fire there. He has not reached the point of what we call V1. V standing for velocity. V1 is the point at which you go or don't go. Beyond V1, you're committed. You're going to fly, or try to fly at least. You can no longer stop on the runway is what V1 means.
Did they get to 145 feet, do you believe?
They crossed V1, and I believe they got, looking at FlightAware, they were about maybe max for just a second or so, about 145 feet in the air. And there's the aircraft, right? As it's reaching the point of V1, then right as they lift off, things start happening rather rapidly.
Right.
The aircraft goes into a very steep bank.
So different people have looked at this video. They didn't know whether the nose actually got to lift off, but we've now since seen some of those side videos on surveillance cameras. It was up in the air. You think about how many feet in the air?
From what I saw on FlightAware, and this is picking, FlightAware picks it up off beacons or data coming from the aircraft. The ADS-B data is what it's called. I think he got up to about 145 feet. That's not very much.
Right.
But I have a picture, a still frame, we'll show you later, where you can see the nose in the air and the aircraft tilted at a very steep angle. It's all very difficult video to see, no matter how many times you look at it.
Absolutely.
But it is important for investigatory purposes.
What does it say to you? We've had a lot of others weigh in on this, that engine was on fire nearly immediately.
That tells us something. Something was going on. Either the engine was, as we say, consuming itself. This is a jet engine. Parts could have been coming off of it. Could have been any number of things. A fuel line could have been loose. Any number of things. One fact that I'm hearing over and over, and we're trying to get it confirmed from UPS, was that this aircraft had some maintenance done on it prior to leaving and may have been a little bit late in leaving because they were doing some maintenance on the aircraft, possibly on the engine. Can't get that confirmed, but it's turning up a whole lot.
All right. They are doing mic checks, by the way, at this NTSB briefing, excuse me. And so we just want to say, as soon as they are ready to go, we will go to it live. Want to keep talking to you until then, Reed. You talked about the cowling in the engine. What is that? Explain to people at home.
The cowling on the engine, think of it as the hood on a car. The cowling is that metal shroud around the engine. And it's designed to be taken off for maintenance purposes. But the cowling came off for some reason. And it's was laying there about a third of the way down the runway. And then the engine departed the aircraft. There have been a number of pictures of it laying there on the ground. It departed the aircraft right as the aircraft was leaving ground. There we go. Okay. There we see that he broke ground. You see the one of the gear hanging down there, but look at the angle of the deck there, the flight deck. Look how steep he is right there. And I believe, and we can look at the video later, the UPS building has a big crease down the middle of it there, that white building. I believe it was the wing that scraped that building right as the aircraft was making contact with the ground. This is about the last frame before the aircraft went down. It was trailing fire at this point, but just looking at that severe angle there, that low to the ground.
Yeah, I was watching different analysts talking this morning about how rare this is for that type of aircraft.
It is. The reliability on jet engines is very, very high. The MD-11 is kind of known as a maintenance hog, but
we're getting ready to join WHAS TV 11 here for the live news conference coming up in just a few seconds. So we want to hang tight here for just a second. Right now, this is a live special report from WHAS 11 News. Hello, everybody. Thank you very much for joining us here at 3 o'clock. I'm Doug Proffitt, along with Connie Leonard and our aviation expert, of course, longtime Reed Yadon from WHAS 11 News. We are getting ready to go live to the very first news conference of the NTSB, the lead investigation into yesterday's UPS cargo jet crash at the airport. Right now, as we stand coming on the air here, 9 people are dead. Of course, it was a crew of 3, 15 people injured, 16 people still reported missing in our community, and U of L held a briefing a little while ago saying 2 people are in critical condition. They said very sick, but at last night's briefing we were told 2 people are in the burn unit. And we should say that the head of the NTSB is Todd Inman. You're going to see him. He is an Owensboro, Kentucky native, and he knows our airport very well.